Hey friends, it's Elizabeth Morse. I'm one of the writers that contributes to PlantersPlace.com and specifically Container Corner. This summer, I have been really concentrating on teaching people how to incorporate some foodstuffs into their containers. Of course, you know, it's always popular to have a veggie garden in the summer. And what I find is that lots of people get started and they get really excited and they plant a whole bunch of stuff and then they go, my garden is like throwing vegetables at me at this time of year. What do I do with them? And besides, you know, BLTs and caprese salads and eating things really, really fresh, I thought I would take a minute and just show you some of the things that have come out of one of my container gardens and a really easy way to use those things up. So I've got two big planters on either side of my big kitchen garden gates. And in those, I always put flowers because I think it's pretty. But then I also add some things like pretty tomatoes, different kinds. You can see I've got a whole big solo cup filled with cherry tomatoes here, all different kinds. And I've got always a couple different kinds of basil. I thought this one looked good today, so I pulled some of that out. It's Genovese. I have some Greek oregano. And then I usually have some garlic growing. I harvested a kind of a big clump. The garlic actually makes these really tall, spiky fronds, and they look kind of cool in a planter. But anyway, I have one big clove of garlic. Typically, I would say use 2 small cloves, but this is a pretty generous one. And then I've got half an onion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the easiest marinara sauce in the whole wide world. I have a couple different blenders here. I happen to have this one out. This is one of those ninjas. It's got the blade that goes in, just makes, you know, a big smoothie size amount. I think this is about 4 cups. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the easiest sauce in the whole wide world. And maybe it'll be a fun way for you to use up some of the things that you might have been growing this summer. So the first thing I'm going to do, I actually have washed all these tomatoes. This is about 2.5 cups of tomatoes. And I washed them already. There was a little stem there. So I'm going to put those in. Oops, there's another one. Little stem. Get that guy off. You can use big tomatoes. I would say use 3 or 4 if they're big. But I've got this. So you can see pretty close to being full. I'm going to save that to put my trash in. Then I'm going to pinch the leaves off of the basil. Throw that in. And that's about 5 good-sized leaves. I like pretty strongly flavored sauce. I've also got this oregano, so I'm going to pull some leaves off. You can see it's starting to flower as it's the end of the season, and I don't want to put those in because they're a little bit bitter tasting. But I've got some oregano. Some people like to put fresh thyme. That would be fine if you've got it. I prefer kind of a more traditional Italian style. Okay, so I've put those leaves in. I'm going to take this half an onion that I had here and cut it up. So just some chunks of onion. And I'm going to take my clove of garlic, peel it, put that guy in. And the beauty of this recipe is that you're going to put everything together and then you're going to blend it and then you just dump it into a small pot on your stove and you're going to cook it. I like to get a sauce that's pretty thick. If you like a lighter sauce, it's not going to take that long. You're going to heat it through, cook it down, and you're going to have dinner really fast. The last 2 things I'm going to put in are a little bit of olive oil, about a tablespoon, and I'm not really super about measuring in my kitchen. This is a pretty forgiving recipe, so you could even skip the olive oil. I would recommend it. I think it's really good, and it helps your sauce not stick. But anyway, that's up to you. I'm going to give it a little grind of fresh black pepper, and I'm going to give it. Each of these are 1/4 teaspoon, half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put my blade on here, and you can use any kind of blender that you have. This is just what I have that works pretty well. And we're going to go ahead and push blend. I'll come back and show you what it looks like because it's noisy. You can see I used pretty light colored tomatoes, so it's not super dark red that you might expect, but as it cooks down, it'll get a little darker. I am going to just dump this into a pot. It smells great. Okay, that's it. I am going to put this on the stove. I'm going to simmer it for probably an hour and see what it looks like. I may let it go longer. Sometimes I like to do that, let it go all day. It makes the house smell great. But when it's through, I'll come back and show you what you've got. And I hope you consider giving it a try. It's a great thing to make your garden containers produce for you. Take care.
If you enjoyed these gardening tips, subscribe to our channel so you can get updates on new videos and stay in the know about all things gardening. Click the red subscribe button below. See the description below for more information about how to connect with us on PlantersPlace.com, Facebook, and Instagram.